everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
No, ma'am. So, who finna bang on the door first?
Me.
Nobody asked her to put all this shit outside.
Yeah.
No. Like, girl.
That would have pissed me the fuck off. Like,
That's
bitch,
what
how
I'm
dare
saying.
you?
When we hit the corner, I'm like, wait a damn minute. I know this Nike on the stuff.
And then the bitch has the nerve to go on her book and touch all her shit.
Exactly, like, who told you to go in there? Nobody.
Okay, who did I move in with part 1? So it's gonna be a long story, guys. Like, I'm gonna tell the story from the beginning. And like I said, a lot of this is 100% my fault. I do take accountability for that. I shouldn't have never moved in with her. My family told me that, but of course, I'm a young hoe, and a young hoe gonna do what young hoe do. But that don't excuse her from being a dirty, lousy, trifling, broke bitch that she is. So yeah, I just want to start off by saying that. I already said that in the previous video, but I just want to, just in case nobody watched that one. So I'm going to start this from the beginning. So I've known the girl that I moved in with for since, I don't even know how long that is, but since I was in 6th grade. I am like a junior in college now. So I've known her since middle school, 6th grade. I decided that like I wanted to roommate with her because she had just came back from PV. Like, some stuff happened with her at PV. I'm not going to speak on that, but some stuff happened with her at PV, and she decided, well, yeah, so she couldn't go to school there anymore. So she didn't know what the she was going to do. And mind you, I hate her now, so I'm just going to tell y'all all her business. So mind you, her mom also didn't have nowhere to live. Her mom don't have nowhere to live. She hasn't had nowhere to live since we were seniors in high school. So basically, you jumping from relative house to relative house to relative house. And I'm like, hey, girl, like, you want a roommate? Like, I'm trying to go down to Houston. I know that you, like, you know, you want to do other things, you know. So we end up, like, basically making this plan to move to Houston, right? And for reference, we're from Fort Worth, so 3-4 hour drive. So we make this plan to move to Houston or whatever. I have it in my head. Everybody's telling me, like, do not move with this girl. She do not have her shit together, da-da-da-da. But, like, in my head, I'm like, the stuff that I've been through and I've overcome, I'm like, it's like easy. She can handle this. Like, she's starting from, like, below. She don't have anything negative on her. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have, like, a car note. You don't have this, that, and the dirt. You don't have any, like, you don't have anything. You're literally starting from the bottom. Like, that's the easiest thing to do. Rather than you have, like, negative equity and shit. That's, you know. So, literally, I'm like, that's the easiest thing to do is just make it come up. I did this shit. I had to find literally my identity at 16 years old. I didn't have nothing, driver's license, social security card, blase. So I was like, I want to help her, and this will help me too, so I don't have to pay the whole amount in rent or whatever. So we did kind of have some agreements, like, moving forward for when we got our apartment. Like I told her, like, hey, like, yeah, you're gonna need to get, like, your driver's license. You need to start getting your driver's license like this summer. So by the time we get down there, you can have your driver's license, or you can get your driver's license, because she hadn't even done the permit part yet. And then another thing is, I want her to get a job during the summer so we can pay the deposit. Realistically, I always think realistically, I knew the deposit was going to be high because she doesn't have any lines of credit, and she's like, we both never, like, leased before that, and she didn't have a job. That's another thing, she didn't have a job. So I was like, wanting her to get a job so that can show, like, on our, like, you know, so when we do our shit, and I'm not the only one who has a job. So she ends up not doing that over the summer. She ends up not getting the job during the summer, and she ends up, like, finishing the permit part but not, like, getting the permit. And that should have been the number one red flag right there. I should just stopped it right there and been like, we're not doing this. I'm gonna move in by myself. But me being the dumb, kind bitch that I am, and if y'all saw the Facebook post, y'all seen a different side of me and stuff and Instagram, but I am actually a really kind person and I want to help people, and that's why I did this. Like, anybody can attest to the fact that I like to help people. I might be a bitch, but I like to help people. So then we end up getting the apartment. Mind you, we had to pay first month's rent as a deposit because she didn't have a job. I saw somewhere that she said that I had fake pay stubs. No, I didn't. That ended up just not even falling through. Don't put that on me. Didn't happen. So so that's the reason why if we had fake pay stubs, then we wouldn't have to pay that high of a deposit. We had to pay our first month's base rent, which was like $1,400, and I paid it all myself up front. I paid the first month's rent myself, and I paid for our U-Haul. I paid for all of that, the gas, the price of the U-Haul, everything. She didn't pay for a single thing on moving. But it was fine because I'm helping you. You're going to eventually get on your feet. You're going to get your driver's license. You're going to get a job. You're going to da-da-da-da. You're going to do great things. So another thing that we discussed before we moved in with each other was cleaning. And we both wanted to be clean, or we wanted to move in with somebody who was clean. And then also, like, we didn't want a lot of people knowing where we stayed at. So another red flag is, when she moved in, we did need somebody to move the U-Haul, but this guy that she brought stayed for like an entire month, and he did not pay no bills. But I was cool with it because he did help move the U-Haul, and I did need somebody to move the U-Haul. But it, like, after he left, it was another who worked at her job at Chili's. Then it was another from Chili's that possibly gave her herpes, and then it was 2-3 at a time. Like, it just, this girl, and I'm not even the type to be like, oh, she's having I'm not the type to slut shame. You do you. And I did know that she like went through a lot of guys when we was like when we were just friends. We didn't move in. I did know that, but I did not know that it was to this extent. Like, this girl is a straight up, like, this is a straight up, like, what is that? Jezebel. Like, this is a Jezebel for real. So yeah, she did not keep up to that deal, like basically not having everybody know where you live at, because she would constantly bring different guys over, and it just was not safe. Like, it would get to the point where I'm laying down in bed and I don't even know that there's some strange guy that I've never met in my life in the room opposite of me. Like, I have no clue. And that is just extremely dangerous, like, in this climate. Like, we're like both girls. You don't know, this is your first time like meeting him. Why are you are too young. Like, you are 21 years old. Why are you picking up from Facebook dating, bro, and bringing them to this house? So then let's get into rent. So with rent, this is the reason why I'm really upset. Our rent, base rent was like almost $1,400. So, with everything, like the amenity, the Wi-Fi, the water, it is $1,500 total. So at most, we have to split $750 a month. You can't even find a 1-bedroom for that price. You probably can't even find a room for that price. So that was actually, like, this is a good deal, $750 each. But literally, I told y'all that I paid the deposit. I paid the first move-in. She did pay me back for the deposit. She paid me half of the deposit. Her dad gave me the money, but everything else, no. The U-Haul and the first month's rent. After that, literally, I paid all the rent, and then she would pay me back when she could, which is typically like 15-20 days later, which really inconveniences me. Because, of course, like, who wants to pay $1,500 up front when they're not even supposed to be paying that much to begin with? So, yeah, like, it's taking money out of my pockets. And then think about it. What if I didn't have the $1,500 that month? What if I didn't have the $1,500 that month? If I didn't have the $1,500 that month, we would be on the streets. I don't want to be on the streets with you because you don't have $750 a month. Y'all, my car note is $689. That's only 100 or so more dollars than my car note. $750 is not shit for rent. Her excuse to why she couldn't pay the rent initially is, of course, her job is not paying her enough. And I will admit her job was not paying her like it was Chili's. And I think some illegal shit going on there. But the thing is, there has been this Dairy Queen that's down the street that's been hiring for, like, since we moved in. And literally with Dairy Queen, literally all you have to do is walk in and place your application and they will hire you. They've been hiring. And I've told her that, and like repeatedly. I've heard her on the phone telling other people like, oh, I'm not getting a fast food job, da-da-da-da. But it's like, bitch, if you can't pay your rent and somebody else is paying your rent for you, you should be doing a lot of things. A lot of things. Another reason why she said she wasn't paying rent is because, of course, she never got her driver's license. And that's another thing. After I realized, I was taking her to work there and back every day. Every day. Mind you, this is Houston. She could have just hopped on the metro. There and back every day, 20 minutes. She was not giving me any gas money. And I'm like, it's fine. It's just until she gets on her feet. But she wasn't trying to get on her feet. She wasn't looking for jobs near us, no matter what it was, because she refused to work at a fast food place. She wasn't trying to get her driver's license. Literally, I told her all you have to do is go to a driving school because they wouldn't let her take it since she didn't have a car. Go to a driving school that has cars and go take the test. That's common sense. I didn't take my driver's test at the DMV. That's stupid as take it at a driving school and then go to the DMV to get it. Because if you don't have a car, what sense do that make to even try to be doing that? And then so her reason, another reason she said is because I stopped giving her rides. Once I realized that she that she never even attempted really to get her driver's license and she just wasn't trying to get a job. Just seeing this was very discouraging, and I'm paying the rent and you're paying me on the 20th for rent that's due. And rent is almost due for the first month, and it's very discouraging to see somebody's not trying. So I'm like, bro, I'm spending so much time, so much money on gas, take you there and back to work, and you're not even doing what you like need to be doing. So I'm like, I'm not finna keep doing this. You're not giving me gas money. So I stopped taking her to work, and she's like complaining, oh, you didn't give me transportation for work, that's why I can't pay rent. I spend a lot of money in Uber, da-da-da-da. When, like I said, this is Houston. Catch the metro, bitch. If you don't have no money and you're not making those strides, like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is not an excuse. I don't have no kids. I should not have to take you anywhere. I'm not obligated to do that. You're not my child. I don't have any dependents, luckily. So yeah, she just wasn't paying rent. She was paying rent late. Then she went out of town for her auntie's funeral. Why did I say birthday? She went out of town for her auntie's funeral, which was back home in Fort Worth. And it had been like a week or two, and this is like May. It had been like a week or two, and I'm texting her and I'm like, hey, so when you gonna be back? And she like, it was like the end of May. This is when this happened, like the end of May. And she was just going to, it had been like a week or two, and I'm like, damn, when is you coming back? So I text her. I am already frustrated with the situation. Like, this is a up situation to be in, but like, I'm like it was still at the point where like we maybe can still be cool. Like, I'm not moving in with you again, but maybe we can still be cool. But I texted her and I was like, hey, when are you coming back home? And she's like, she put the shrug shoulders emoji. How you don't know when you're coming home? So I'm like, how you don't know? And she's like, I think I'll be back in a few weeks to come pick up my stuff. What? I'm like, so you're moving out? And she's like, yeah. So I'm like, when the fuck were you gonna tell me that? And mind you, like, she didn't say anything. She did not pack anything. She didn't say anything. This is me literally asking her when she's going to come home. And she's like, basically like, oh, I'm moving out. And she's like, oh, I'm going to pay my half of the rent still. You're not even paying it and you're here. That doesn't make any sense. So let me be clear about who is who in these videos, so y'all know. Men, watch out, because the roommate, she is possibly burning, and I'm gonna tell that story next. So stay tuned, because if you f her, you might want to get that checked, because I think she has herpes. So this is her. This is the roommate, as y'all saw in the other video. This is a girl named Zira. Oh, I thought we was cool, but I don't know. So then let me see. Let me scroll. This is the cousin with the ugly ass baby. And then there's been this guy that's in the comments. It's a gay boy. He kind of fat. He back there. I don't know why they brought a nigga. I don't know why they brought a nigga, but it's cool. So yeah, so that's them. Looking as dusty as they are, talking shit, but you came with 200-month-old braids in, looking absolutely a fucking mess. But tune in, because next is going to be the story about how she possibly has herpes. Yeah. But even if she don't, I still wouldn't fuck her, because, girl, I'm telling y'all, she fucking you and 5 other niggas. I've seen it with my own, too. Okay, so this is the part where it gets more interesting, like where we get more to the video. So yeah, she tells me she's gonna move out, So a couple of days passed, and well, she did send me the rent. She sent me $300. Like I said, her half is $750. She sent me $300 for the month. That's it, just $300. So I text her, and I'm like, a few days later, and I'm like, hey, so June is coming up. Like, when are you gonna send the other half of the rent? And she's like, oh, again, with the shrug emojis. Bitch, how you don't know? You either got it or you don't. So I'm like, you, what do you mean? You must have moved down there, got a job or something by now. And she's like, no, I don't have a job. Then why the fuck would you move down there, knowing you don't have a job and you still have bills to pay here? What sense does that make? That don't make any sense at all. And it's just like, oh, I have paid too much in rent, not rent, paid too much on Uber, so I just thought it was better to move back home. Are you suddenly going to have a car down there? No, you don't have shit. Now you don't have none of your shit. Now you don't. She left all her clothes and shit here. Now you just literally have 2 outfits and you're. So basically, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you moved back home because you were spending too much money on Uber, but you still don't have a car. Now you don't have a job. Now you don't have none of your shit. What sense do that make? Like, this bitch has literally the mindset of a fucking child. Like, I can't even like the reasons that she gives for the shit that she does makes absolutely no sense at all. So at this point, like, a lot of people around me, like my family members, friends, they already hip to like what's going on. So it's like they telling me, like, literally throw her shit away, throw that shit away, burn that shit. They're, cause this, like, don't give a fuck about me or my money. Like, you have no respect. And yeah, so they tell me to do that, but I'm like, no, they've been telling me to kick her out. They've been told me to throw her shit out, but I'm like, no, I'm not finna do that. Like, that's kind of fucked up. Even though she's a fucked up ass bitch, I'm not finna stoop down to her level. I'm just gonna wait until this lease over and get the fuck on. And she's just gonna be back to where her and her family is, homeless, like the dirty broke they are. Yeah. So yeah, like, I was just gonna pay it to the game, but then like, I'm texting you like, hey, can you bring the keys and the key fob, and you acting like you got a attitude because I asked you, can you bring the key and key fob when you come for your stuff? I have to pay for that if you don't bring it back, and I already paid enough shit for you, bitch. Your tab is running dry. Okay, let's get into the contents of the video that was shown. Let me tell you guys why I did what I did, why all her shit was outside. It wasn't that much shit, y'all. It literally took me 5 minutes to put. Let me get to the part. So yeah, you can kind of see. I'm gonna have to put it on the screen. You can't see it. So I texted her she texted me at 11:05 after she ignored my past 2 messages. Like, who the fuck are you feeling like? She texted me at 11:05 p.m. Last night saying, you can leave the food stamp card on the counter. I'm finna come get myself. And then at 12:52, and could you keep the top lock unlocked? Why do you think that you just finna come in here? Why did you even assume that I still had your shit? Most people would have thrown that shit. I actually didn't, because I'm actually not that type of bitch. But why did you just assume that I still had that? And mind you, my friend did come over a week or 2 ago, and we put all her shit in trash bags. We did put all her shit in trash bags. And by the way, she living real dirty. It's all types of yeast infection, UTI medicine. And I don't judge people for that, but I'm pretty sure she get it because she can't stop. Like, very nasty. Not nasty if you got one. If you got one before, and you not just out here, like, that's you. But she's a nasty bitch, so I know she got that from being a nasty bitch. So she got that, and then also she had no toilet brush scrubber, and the toilet was disgusting. Like, disgusting. It looked like she hadn't cleaned the toilet in 10 months, and it made sense because she literally had it because she didn't have a toilet brush scrubber. And I have one. She could just ask for it, but she just lives like a dirty bitch. So yeah. So and now I didn't take pictures of any of this because I'm not the type of bitch to be taking pictures of friends' dirty underwear and stuff like that. I should have, because she's a dirty hoe, but I'm not that type of bitch. So then, yeah, she sent me those text messages talking about she finna come get her shit. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, she want this food stamp card. Should I break that? And then I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Then I was like, so why does she think that she just gonna come up in here and get her shit? Like, I'm just mulling over this whole time, like until like 1 o'clock. I want to say, I'm like, is this cool? Like, I was just getting angrier and angrier. Like, something just possessed me. So I just went in that room. All that stuff we had packed into trash bags and shit, I just threw that shit outside. And I locked the top lock so she couldn't come in. Because why do you think, like, what the f*** did you think this was? Yeah, why did you think that you was, and I'm very curious, and I want to hear from all the hoes that was there. So why did y'all think that y'all was just gonna come into a residence y'all don't pay shit in? Why did y'all think y'all was gonna do that? Y'all was surely mistaken. Now y'all mad. You're still broke. All y'all still living with the granny, the mama, everybody. The baby's still ugly, by the way. Ugly as because of mama ugly. So I do feel bad. It's not the baby didn't do nothing wrong to me. It's just the mama ugly, and I just feel like when you are ugly, you know you ugly. Why would you even bring a baby into that situation? That's worse than having a baby broke, and she broke too. So that's a double whammy. And this is my closing argument, and I would just like to say, none of you can f with me. None of you got nothing. Y'all some dusty dirt ball assholes, bottom of the barrel. Your mama don't even have no place to stay. That's when it gets bad. So I would just like to say, yeah, you can't f with me. You don't have shit to your name, and y'all talking about scared. No, it's just really, really funny. Like, I was just like literally sitting there laughing. Like, you can ask my homegirl, we was having a key, honey. I was like, these are really mad. There's no way they thought that they was they told us I thought we could take a nap. I thought that we can go use the bathroom. No, sit outside like the prostitute you are. And you know what? You right, I'm not fighting you bitches. Because guess what? Y'all don't have anything. Where is your stuff, Bookie? It shouldn't have took me 5 minutes to put all of your possessions out the door. 5 minutes max, bitch. It's gonna take you 30 years to take all my shit. But yeah. They mad because I'm still pretty.
Hey, what it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another another video. We finally got through it, man. Listen. Yeah, these are young. She called it right, young problems. Okay, and if you still having these issues as a grown woman, then I get it. You messed up in life, but she just told you y'all shouldn't be having these issues. You know, she gave you an opportunity. You got to take it. When the opportunity presents itself, you got to be willing to step up and make stuff happen. I don't think everybody's willing to take accountability for the decisions in their life. And that's exactly what we just witnessed. This woman not being able to take accountability for herself. Living promiscuous, nothing wrong with that. Hey, live your life, but use protection. Also, if you want to talk about getting a job and stuff like that, being humble would have got her what she needed. The fact that she wasn't willing to go to work and she was she was more worried about how she would look. Man, it's some grown women working at Little Caesars by my house. It don't matter how the bills get paid, as long as you stepping up and taking care of it. And there's nothing wrong with a grown woman working at Little Caesars. The thing is, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And if you can find the strength to work more, take care of your kids, and go to school to build yourself a better life than just settling and just being able to live comfortable at least between your 30s and 40s, or your 50s and 40s and 50s, or your 50s and 60s. Because listen, the great Kevin Samuels, he lived his entire life, and he didn't come over that hump. And he lived a great life. But what I'm saying is, for him to really make it, he was 50, and that time was short lived because he died not long after becoming a household name. You also have people like the Colonel from KFC. The Colonel from KFC, he didn't become a millionaire till he was 75 with KFC. So don't let anybody tell you that what you're doing right now will spoil your dreams, because you can still do it as long as you keep it consistent, you work hard, and you have faith in God. Man, you could do it, man. I think, man, with y'all being young and not willing to work at fast food, is crazy work. When you have no skills, you don't have no effort. Sounds like you believe in having sex more than you believe in working a job, which is crazy. It's a crazy way to think. How could you think that you want to sleep with all these guys who probably don't have nothing to give to you on your rent, but you won't go get a job? That's so backwards. So at least if you're going to be a broke hoe, be one with your own, okay? Not being put out of people's homes. Anyway, everyday people, let me know what y'all think about this crazy situation in the comment section.